It's a paintbrush, right? Okay, got it. Yeah,
It's a
I
paint
got
one.
now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are actually two ways of SAP systems and two ways where how we install this SAP system. So they are embedded and central hub. Okay. So what actually we need to know about where this SAP UI5 actually lies in our system. So for like embedded, we have okay, let's go for the central hub first. So for central hub, like we have some backend, what we call dev server or QoS or a PRD or production server. Okay. Then so we get then there is a backend and there is front end gateway. This is the gateway server, and this is for central hub deployment. So for central hub deployment, we have a backend that is we can call the center, and then we have the front end gateway where actually the Fiori server lies. Okay. So here is our Fiori server. So Fiori server connects to the gateway system. Okay. And then the gateway server must fetch data from the backend server, that is dev QoS or any app in the database, to the QoS or PRD via our TRs, okay, transport requests. So this connection, this front-end server to gateway connection is maintained in our webIDE via destination service. Okay, so we will see we will how to create a destination service also in webIDE in future. So this connection is maintained by webIDE destination from Fiori server to gateway, and then gateway to backend server is maintained by something called OData. So OData is typically named, you can call OData it's a protocol, and it's a REST API also. So if we think is it as a protocol, that protocol will connect us to the backend system from the front end gateway system. So this OData service will connect to the backend server via RFC connections. Okay. So RFC connections will connect the gateway to the backend server. Okay. What are the RFC connections? RFC connections are, RFC stands for
Remote function calling.
remote function. Yeah, remote function call. Remote function call. So you need to make RFC connections and assign them to a system alias. Okay. So we assign RFC connections to system alias and assign the system alias to the OData service. Okay, so that's how it works. If we go to the transaction IWFND meant service.
One question here.
Yeah.
So you mentioned we have to assign this alias to the OData service. So what is the purpose of
Yes.
assigning this alias to OData? What it do?
Yeah. So RFC connections, we cannot, use RFC connection directly. Okay. So we need to connect our front end gateway to the backend server to fetch the data. Okay. So that connection is actually an RFC connection lying behind, but we need to mask that RFC connection with various system aliases. Okay. So there are various system aliases actually. There are type of system aliases. How you would like to connect to the backend system, which data we want to fetch from the backend system. Okay. So that thing is defined by the system alias. Okay, so system alias does two things. It connects our gateway server to the backend server, and it defines the type of the connection also. What kind of data we need from the backend server? Is it clear?
Yeah. So if we do not have the alias assignment done to the OData service, it means in this case it will not work. It will throw the error or it will not work at all. Correct?
Obviously, for central hub deployment. So we have these backend servers. They have development, quality, and production. So there will be three types of system aliases. For dev, it's a separate system alias. For quality, it's a separate system alias, and this way. So which system alias I am assigning to the particular OData service will decide from which server I am getting the data. If I am assigning the system alias that is connecting to dev, we'll be getting data from the development server and respected. Okay.
So it means you are saying our gateway system could be one, but we can connect the same OData service and the same Fiori development to all three backend system whenever we need it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So that is possible.
We can
Is it
have.
possible?
Yeah.
I mean, like from
We
the
can
configuration
do
perspective.
two things. Yeah, we can do two things. There are check boxes typically. Okay. So we need to select that check boxes for the different servers. So if we need data from all three servers at a time, then we'll check that check boxes for the three servers. But if we don't need, all three servers, or then we just need to select the particular server we need the data from.
But
Okay.
technically,
Mm-hmm.
how any of the OData can fetch the data from all three server, right? It's not technically possible. Either if assignment is done to any of the one alias and it will point to one system at a time, so it can fetch the data or stabilize the connection with only one system. So technically, it's not possible to fetch the data from all three
No.
systems.
Yeah, technically it's possible to fetch the data from all systems, because there are in central hub deployment. Suppose just imagine a scenario where we have created one app and deployed it into the development server, and then we move that app to the PRD system. Now, after moving in the PRD system, we need to change something in the development system then. But we do not, we actually cannot close or cannot hold the app in the PRD system because it's a mandatory app. Okay. So then we just don't, deselect the PRD system from the system alias. We just let it remain as it is, where it is fetching some data from the PRD system, and then we add a system alias for development server to that OData service as well. So it will not hamper the app from fetching the data from PRD server, and it will also be available in the development server for our change or any new development perspective. Okay.
Okay. So the central hub deployment, you are saying
Yeah.
it is a separate system. Fiori system gateway is a separate system, and our SAP S4 HANA system is the separate system. They are the two separate systems.
Yeah.
Okay.
S4
And
HANA
this
lies
Fiori
here.
server is the third system. Is it the Fiori system is
No,
again a third system?
this is like you can say that this portion is on webIDE.
Oh,
Okay,
I see. It's on the web ID.
where I am developing the app. So this webIDE will connect to the gateway system via destination, and the gateway system will connect to the backend server via OData services. And that OData service will require RFC connection to connect to the backend server. Okay, and we cannot use the RFC connection directly, so we assign RFC connection to system aliases and then assign the system alias to the OData service. This is the whole scenario. Am I clear?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Good. So I looks like the one
Mhm.
that I used in our system was not
Mhm.
the same way. Maybe it is the other way. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So okay, not a problem. We will come to the embedded system. Okay. So now embedded system. So for embedded system, we have one server where the Fiori dev QS and PRD is all there. No different gateway system. Okay, and we connect directly to the Fiori server. So these servers have different clients. Actually, suppose Fiori server has 100, and then development has 200, quality has 400, this kind of client. So we'll use these clients to in the destination of our web ID to specify which server I am willing to connect actually. So then we have our front end like web ID here. So we will connect that web ID direct. Sorry, we'll connect web ID direct to this, and this connection will be maintained via destination. Okay. So this is a kind of embedded system where Fiori server actually does not have any separate gateway system. Fiori server lies on the development, quality, and production. Okay. So and we actually we can use dispatcher for both of the cases, but here it is more needed in embedded system. So here, what will be the difference? Here we will also need the system alias. So we will need the system alias here also, but the system alias here is local. Okay. So there are system in gateway in the central hub system. We will not have system alias as local because they are remote servers to the gateway server. But in embedded system, we have Fiori on top of this dev QAS and PRD itself. So always we need what we assign what system alias we will assign for the OData service will always be local system alias. It is default by the SAP. Okay, is it clear?
So when we say it's default
Mhm.
by SAP, it means we won't be able to see it if there is any system alias assigned to any of the data service.
No, we can always we can check the system alias assigned to OData service in IWFNG main service. Okay. So there is a T code, IWFND main service. Here we can always check for the system alias. Okay. And we will which system alias actually is assigned to the OData service, we can check from here. And for details of the system alias, we will use SPRO. Okay, SPRO. There is a T code in a T code SPRO. So we will use T code SPRO to see the details of the system alias and which system alias is assigned to which OData service. If we need that information, we will go for IWFND main service. Okay.
I have doubt
So
here
yeah.
about this system alias maintained for this embedded system. So I just
Mm-hmm.
logged into my system and I do not see any system alias assigned to that. And this OData service is working fine. So my question is where to check. So
Okay.
yeah, this is the OData service
Yes.
and it is working, right? It has a properly showing result and
Yes,
my
it is working.
so it
Yeah.
shows
It
it
is
is
working.
status string
So
active, but somehow this piece is completely blank. This
yes,
alias.
the blank system alias means it is using the local system alias. Okay.
It
If we are
means by
not,
default it is
yeah,
using the
by
local
default
system.
it is, yeah, that's why I said it's default by SAP. So if we do not use any system alias, that means we want to use the blank, sorry, local system alias. Okay. So you can check for more OData services if there is any system alias or anything.
No,
So
I checked for
I guess all are, because it is an
yes.
embedded system. Yeah, I guess
So
all right.
is there any way to see other place? This is the one. So it gives the options to add the alias also.
So we can check for system alias if there is any. Uh, we can go to SPRO.
SPRO. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, SAP reference.
Mm-hmm.
Then SAP native bar. Native bar.
SAP network. Okay. Mm-hmm.
SAP gateway or data channel configuration. Then connection settings. Gateway. So we are connecting gateway to SAP system. Okay. So gateway to SAP system. Manage system aliases. Manage SAP system aliases. Yeah. Yeah.
You can display
Activity.
that. Okay. Okay.
Look. So here are the system aliases. Okay. Which I
So
mentioned.
CSD client 120 local
Yeah.
by
This thing is using an RFC connection.
so these all are selected, right? Which one is the active right
Okay.
now in the system?
Well, if you are using a blank one, then it will use the local one.
This one.
Yeah.
Local is this one.
Okay. And for, yeah, this is for my inbox. Look, here are two kinds of system alias we can see. For any other system alias, we have that local GW checked. Okay. But for this system alias, my inbox, we have for local app.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So basically, what it needs for my inbox, this is a kind of different type of app in Fiori. So it uses actually two OData services. Okay. For when we will see that how to create a, I mean, what are the different apps in SAP? Yeah, it is actually a master detail app. So it will use this for local app for us for our data, for an OData service it is using, and it will use another system alias which will not be having this for local app check for the other system alias, yeah, OData service actually.
So from here, how to identify
Mhm.
which alias is being used in this system? How to identify that?
I didn't get you actually. System
Here
alias is
we have so
used.
many aliases. Yes.
Yeah.
So which one is being used in our system,
So
in current system?
you can see, you can check for the description actually. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So which system alias is connecting to which system?
Where it is that?
For local, it's described as local system aliases, local system alias.
Right.
And the software version is default, so it is always it is being used, it can be used for our local OData services which are not in any remote server. For embedded case, we can always use local or just leave it blank. It will automatically go for local. Okay.
And what is the concept of the co-deployment? When we use the co-deployment, when we create a OData service in the system. So if you go here, add services, right? System alias. I'm not giving any system alias here. So as per your details, I have to select the local. Then only it will show me the services, right?
No,
So
yeah, it will.
because this is the system alias, right?
Obviously,
So when I
obviously.
go here, I do not let me come back and add services. I do not use the local, okay, and I use the code deployment. It means system alias is now no
No,
more
yeah,
local.
it's obviously it's not needed because it is co-deployed. I mean, it is you are saying the system that it has been deployed with your embedded system always, so it will always go for the local only if it is co-deployed. Okay.
I didn't get it. So you are saying when we say code deploy, it means system understand
That
no
you are
system
using
alias need to
an
be assigned.
embedded
It should be
system.
local. It should be
Yeah,
local.
obviously. Co-deployed
Okay.
means in which server you are calling that OData service to add service. The system, the OData service lies in here, in there only. Okay, it will not fetch that OData service from any other servers.
But
Okay,
if
so
I
more or
just
less.
use the local, if you see, if I use the only local, still it give me the information, right? So why to use the code deploy? What is the use of the code deploy here?
Because co-deployed is actually not necessary for embedded systems, but it will be helpful for your central hub deployments if we can see the structure. Okay, if we are, I mean, yeah. Okay, so in embedded system there, in embedded system also, if we, I mean, if we are confused about no, what local system alias, we cannot find that one. So if or if someone has, I mean, uh, manipulated that local system alias from that SPROT code, you will always go for code deployed option. Okay, that will also give the same result as you want in when you are calling the local system alias, right?
There are the two
Okay,
contradictory
yeah.
statements here. One is about central hub, right? So if we do the central hub deployment, it means it means our Fiori system is separate and we need to give the system alias because that is representing the RFC. So in
The
this
RFC,
case,
yeah.
right? So in this case, say like this is another system. So we have to have provide the system
Let us support.
info, right?
Suppose we are using gateway, and this first system alias is connected to the development system.
Correct.
So if
So in
we
this
want
case,
to, yeah,
we have to use this one. That case, code deployment cannot be used. The moment we will use the code
no.
deployment, it will become a local. Correct.
Obviously,
So,
obviously.
but you mentioned the code deployment is being used in central hub. It's not useful for
Oh, sorry.
the embedded.
If I mentioned that, that is my bad actually.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, the whole scenario is that what you are saying. That is the more right scenario actually. The code deployed. If we click the code deployed, it always means the local. So obviously,
Only
yeah,
mean the local. Okay.
yeah,
So it means for the embedded, we always go with the code deploy.
yeah. We can go with the code deployed,
And if
obviously.
I do not want to use the
But
code deploy, can I still use the
no,
local here and
there
work
are,
on it?
yeah. It will work, but there are scenarios where like if anybody is new to the Fiori, okay, and he has, I mean, somehow deleted the standard OData services from the backend from your system, okay, but then in that case, what we will need that we need to import that OData services from different servers also in the embedded system also. Are you getting my point? If we have mistakenly deleted something from our server, so then we can always use the system alias to call that OData service from the different server in embedded system also.
Okay, so in the
It's a
embedded
practical
system,
scenario.
there
Yeah.
is a, they have given the both option. So first
Mhm.
priority
You
is go
can,
with the code deploy
yeah, you
always.
can,
Okay.
yeah. You can
Mhm.
go with co-deployed if you're confused about your local system alias. Anyways, okay.
Okay, got it. Okay, next. Yes,
Mhm.
we are good here. So let me unshare my screen.
So, go to this structure, and now we'll go to UI5. So, first of all, Fiori means flower. Okay, Fiori means flower. So, we'll develop apps which will, I mean, be as beautiful as flower. That is the concept why it is named as Fiori. And we'll be using to uh, develop Fiori like apps. We will use the framework UI5. Okay, so we are often asked that what is the difference between Fiori and UI5. So Fiori is the app when is the developed completely developed app. We call that a Fiori like app. So it's a flower like, I mean, it should be a beautiful app, and we will use UI5 framework to develop Fiori like apps. Okay, so the difference is clear. I mean, why we are
Yes,
using
it is
Fiori
clear.
and UI5. Okay, and UI5 stands for user interface. Okay. UI stands for user interface. So more or less, we can say that it uses uh, HTML5, JavaScript, and CSS. So we can beautify our apps through UI5 functions. There are UI5 options in UI5 where you can beautify our apps, and we can use a separate CSS as well. Okay. And Fury UI5 uses the approach of model, view, and controller. So
One question here.
yeah.
So for the UI5 user interface 5, so 5 is the
Mhm.
version of it, or it is a standard
Mhm.
word? What it is?
It's a standard word because there was nothing like UI1, UI2, UI3, UI4. It is always been UI5.
And this UI5 name or terminology belongs to SAP Fiori, or it is a common across non-SAP tools also?
No, you can, you actually, there are two ways to use UI5. There is Open UI5, which is not that much used because for non-SAP apps, we have other frameworks too. Okay. So UI5 is actually used in SAP Fiori apps only. We don't use Open UI5 as well, which is also available for non-SAP tools or non-SAP systems, but we don't use it because there are, I mean, strong frameworks to design non-SAP applications as well, like Ruby and Rails, you can say. And there are many. They can use always CSS, PHP is also there. So we don't need that UI5 framework there for non-SAP applications. We use UI5 only in SAP Fiori apps, only to develop Fiori SAP Fiori apps actually.
So it
There
means
is a open UI5, but we don't use it that much.
Okay. So UI5 concept is common, but in Fiori, we are just using from the SAP Fiori UI5, but UI5
SAP UI5, we can
normal
say.
concept.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a generic concept. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So SAP UI5, in SAP UI5, we use MVC format of a app to design a app. So what is MVC? It is model, view, and controller. So model means the OData section, you can say. How we handle the OData. So there are OData models, XML models, JavaScript models. Yeah, sorry, JSON models. Okay. So we generally will be generally using OData models and JSON models. Okay. XML models for OData handling OData is not so handy actually. So we'll be using OData models and JSON models. For local data, local data, we will use JSON model, and for the client side data, we will use OData models. Yeah.
So when we say model, it means the way of creating the OData service, or it is something else.
No, it is something like container, you can say. Container for the data service or format of the data service. Okay.
So the one that we were creating for the IFND maintenance service, which
It
like
was a service. It was the OData service. There is always a OData service when we want to call data from fetch data from the client system. When let it be embedded or central hub, anything. There is the OData service protocol which we use to fetch data from the client's system, and then we need to define the structure or the format in which we want to use that data service in our app, and that is called a model.
okay, I see. Okay.
Okay.
So data
Yeah.
service underline is using this model. So then we
Yeah.
have the
Yeah.
option to choose these three model, OData model, XML, and JSON. Okay,
JSON models.
got it. Okay.
Okay. So we will be using OData models for client-side data and JSON models for our local hard-coded data. We'll need that JSON model sometime because we sometimes in our developments we actually don't have that OData ready for us or anything at the time of development. So we need our own hard-coded data there. And not only in that case, but in many cases we will see that the format in the format we are getting the OData service from the backend, that is not sufficient for our app. For developing our app, we need to manipulate that format. Like if we have OData like this in we have an OData service for employee set, suppose employee set, and we are getting the employee details in that OData service, but we need to make this need some we need to divide these employees data in employee details, and then we need another separate OData for employee account details. Yeah. So we can always divide this whole employee set we are getting from the OData service into these things by using JSON models from our front-end server as well. So there are two scenarios where we can use JSON model, where we need our own hard-coded data, and when we need to manipulate that OData service, OData that is coming from the backend into our Fiori UI5 app in the webIDE. Okay.
So when we say hardcore data, you mean like the flat file or the data that is our in our local machine. So local machine data, you are saying hardcore data, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The data we have in our local machine, like we have we can have a JSON file itself, or we can write that hard coded data in our app also. In that case, we do not need any separate JSON file. We can call the data from the inside the app also. Okay.
So it means within the app also we can write down the data. So like employee number 123, account number XYZ, like
Yeah.
we can enter the data. Okay.
Yeah.
It
We
is
can enter
fixed
the
data.
data in the app also and call that thing
Okay. And when
via
we
model.
refer the client, you mentioned the first item in the data model, we refer for the client. So you are referring client means the HANA service,
Backend,
right? Any of the
yeah.
HANA
HANA is a database. Obviously, there can be ECC.
HANA. Okay, so any of the source system in this case, like ECC or anything. So does it work
Anything.
with the non-SAP system also? Like
Yeah.
I have .NET
It
application, I have MS SQL database. Will it work with that?
it can work with the non SAP system also, but we need to configure that non SAP system, and it's challenging. I mean, we need something called cloud connector to connect to that non SAP system, and then only we can fetch data from there.
So this cloud connector is the add-on between
Two
each
systems
one between two
from, yeah,
systems. Okay.
yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Go ahead, please. Yep.
We define the mappings between two systems in cloud connector if we want to use non-SAP systems, and we'll need sometimes in the SAP systems as well. We'll see that scenario later. So now we move to the view. So in view, we design the front end. Say you can say the main user interface. You can design there in view. How will it look like the app? So there are JavaScript views. It's- There are HTML views. There are XML views and JS view. So typically there are three types of views there we can use: HTML views, XML views, and JS views. But we will go for XML views always. Okay. Because XML view gives us that flexibility which HTML and JS view will not provide actually. Because XML is a server-side language, you can say. So XML views are very good and very responsive in for our development also. It holds all those property we will be requiring in our development of UI5 app.
So one question here on the view.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you said it is used for the front end design, right?
Hmm.
So what we are referring to here in the front end design, it means the final output, how it looks like
Yeah,
in
final
case of
output
our
you can say
KPI
the
designer,
screen.
the screen. Okay.
Okay.
So if I'm trying to relate with something that is existing, say like we did the KPI designer, right? So in the KPI designer, whatever the final chart looks like, so that design we are referring here, right? As a view.
Yeah. As a view.
As a view. Okay. So it is the final outlook, how it looks like.
Yeah, it's fine. You can say that it is the final outlook. It is the final user interface. Okay.
Got it. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And in view, suppose we have a button. So on clicking that button, the app will function. The app will execute a thing. If we suppose if we have a button to display employee data, then by clicking that app, we should display that employee data in any format we want. So that thing, what the button will do if we click it, or if we I mean after any event applied on it, that is written in the controller. Okay. So we write the functions, the UI controls, we call it controls, the button and the checkboxes we will be using in the UI will perform on an event. An event means click event can be there. Okay. So in the view, we are designing the user interface, the final output of the screen, and that in that final output of the screen, when we have some controls like checkboxes, drop down menu, table, list, or buttons, anything we have as a control, what will it perform if we if we click on a button, or if we click on a list, a line, a row of a list. So these things is defined in the controller section, and the data we are fetching the data from the model section. So these are three things will be working in UI5 developments, and this is called the MVC framework: the model, view, and controller. Wait, is it clear, the framework?
Yes, framework is clear.
Okay, so now if you can share your screen for the webIDE, that would be better for your understanding. I will show something there for you. Okay.
Okay, so can you see my screen now?
Yeah, I will see your screen. So here we will go to the manifest.json file for the first step. Descriptor editor. So this is MVC, right? Yeah, sorry, OBV. Is there any normal UI5 app?
I have the
We'll
list
go to,
page.
okay, list report.
Mhm.
Let us see. Let us open this list report. Web app. Okay, yeah. This annotation, local service. No, this is not.
It is the same.
So yeah, it is same, because it is also, I mean, standard app is not as having this kind of structures.
We can
So
create a
we
new
can
one.
see
It will
there.
take 2
Yeah,
minutes. What type
you
of
can
the app
create
you
a
want?
new one, but yeah, obviously you can create a new one.
Okay, so which type you want me to do? Let me
New, yeah.
create from template.
SAP UI5 app. Fiori
Mm.
applications, you can say. No, not Fiori elements.
So one
SAP
question,
Fiori
sir. What
application.
is the difference between these Fiori element tabs
Mhm.
and Fiori application? Fiori app. What is the difference between them?
If you want to develop say an application from scratch, we'll be using Fiori application. But if we need something that is already, I mean, some portion of that app is already done there, then we will need Fiori elements. Fiori elements means it has already used some templates for a basic design for yourself. Okay, and then
Okay,
you
those
can
are wizard based.
manipulate that thing. Yeah, wizard sort kind of. So we'll go for SAP UI5 application.
This one? Okay.
Mhm.
It shows the format as a blank completely. It
Yeah,
means
yeah,
scratch.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That is the development from the scratch.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll give a project name like day one.
First,
Yeah.
first. UI5 custom. Namespace. We okay. Last time you mentioned me about something about the
Namespace.
what is this
Yeah,
descriptor?
actually,
Mhm.
this namespace actually we can use to, I mean, identify your app also. Okay, so this namespace have a different kind of naming convention, like com dot name of your app com and dot SAPI, this like this. But you can use, if we use any name here, it will always append those things there. So we need not to worry about these things. This is okay. Com dot SAP dot your name. You put it like that. That is the naming convention actually for namespace.
.sap dot
Yeah.
com.sap and then and name
Dot. Yeah.
dot and then
Mm, I mean your name.
custom cust custom UI fine. Okay,
Mhm. Okay.
that way.
So
And
it means you are you want your app to be named like this com.sap dot custom UI5 app. It's just a naming convention actually of your app. You could have just put custom UI5 app here without using com.sap dot. Okay, that is also can be used, but it's a naming convention that you used this format
this
for
is the
namespace.
best practice actually. You saying this is the
Yeah,
best
this
practice
is
to
the
use.
best practice.
Okay,
Mhm.
got it. So okay, next initial view type is XML.
Mhm.
View type is
And
XML.
view type is XML. There are other views also. So we'll always go for XML view.
XML, okay, and view name.
Okay. Yeah, and we can set a view name like first app or anything you can put.
Okay,
Hmm.
and say next.
Hmm. You can next or
Refresh page.
finish it here also. Yeah.
Finish.
Okay. You can finish it. Yeah.
Let me close this one too.
Yeah. We'll
Oh, this.
open that thing.
Okay.
Web app
Mm-hmm.
and web app. Yeah. And then we'll go for the view folder. No, see, there is already created a view. Okay, so you can open it.
UI5 view. Okay, it came
This
with the
is a view,
view.html.
looks like. Yeah, your name UI5 V1. Okay, and it's a view, and it's a view of type XML. That is what it means.
Okay.
So we have this view and this predefined, I mean, library is there. Okay, we will explain these things now. So in our view, in a typical SAP UI5 app, so first it is we are using MVC. Okay, MVC structure, MVC format, what we discussed in the last
So
section,
that was a model, right? So
and it is
MVC
that
framework.
it's a MVC framework. Okay, using MVC framework, and then it is saying that my controller name is custom UI5 app, first UI5 custom app 126 June. Okay, so it is the folder containing your controller. Like it is our main parent folder, first UI5 custom app 126 June. Okay, and then we have a controller folder there where we can find UI5 view 1. It is the path. Okay, so you can check it there also. We have on the left side in the project explorer, yes,
So
we have
first
this parent
UI5
folder.
right, and then controller.
Okay, Then we have controller in there. Yeah, controller folder. If we open it, open the computer folder, we have this name UI5 View 1. And it is saying that it is a controller and it is a controller of JS type. Okay. Controller are always written in JavaScript. So it will always have that extension JS.
Okay, something. Okay. And you mentioned about this XML and MVC. So it try to identify the framework. So here it is the MVC.
Yeah, it's trying to identify the framework and NS space. And last thing, XML NS namespace is SAP.m. You can see the second line actually, line number 2. If we refer to the line number 2, there is it is saying that names is that means we're using the libraries which will support mobile mobile devices. Okay, so that
Your voice is breaking, Pradeep. I couldn't hear you. If you are speaking, I couldn't hear you.
yeah, connection got disconnected actually.
Yeah, so I lost you for like a couple of seconds. So I'm not sure like if you're speaking.
Yeah, so we have this namespace. If we use this namespace MVC, that means we are referring to the framework MVC, where we have used that tag MVC written within it. Okay.
So this
And
is
on
the
the
name.
second line,
Yeah,
this is actually this MVC after this name XML NS, XML namespace colon, whatever we use, that is a namespace.
But the
And that
namespace we gave
namespace
something outside, right?
actually, no, that is the namespace of our app. Okay, that is the namespace we already mentioned in the controller name. You can see the controller name here on the first line. So the name controller name is using com.sap.custom UI5 app. That was the namespace we had given earlier
Right.
for our app. Okay, so this is the namespace for our app, but these are XML namespace. Okay, there are different libraries in XML, and those libraries have different namespace for them to identify them. So this MVC means SAP UI.core.mvc. That means there are a folder of this library somewhere where MVC library called MVC lies there, and this MVC means model value view controller. And then on the second line, if we can see XML namespace sap.m. So this means we will be using our libraries for control for mobile devices. It will also be applicable for a desktop or tabs also. Okay, if we use mobile library, it will always be available for desktop or tabs kind of devices also. Okay. Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay. And then, okay, yeah, just give me 2 seconds.
Sure. Take your time.
Huh? তাহলে ওখানে রেখে দাও, আমি একটু পরে যাচ্ছি, আধ ঘন্টা পরে। So, okay. ফুচকা খাবে? আমি কি করে যাবো? ভাইকে দেখো। So, the third line, we have cell ID here. Okay. Cell is like a container of your app. You can put it, yeah, it is not mandatory. You can use cell, or you cannot use cell. That is your choice actually. So actually cell means the, if we referring to the final output, we can put some properties there, like the final output, we how will it so how will it be displaying for the user. So we can control those properties from other contents as well. So we do not use cell mandatorily, but by default it comes with the app, so we can leave it there, cell id. And on the fourth line, that is app tag. Okay, so app, we have the id of the app, that is app. We will be we will need this id of the app in our navigation section when we go to our navigation. For now it doesn't have any use actually, but you can say that I mean, if there are multiple views we are using, we can give app IDs, different app IDs for multiple views, and we can refer that multiple views with that given app ID assigned to it. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So and then we have pages. So in a view, we can have one or two pages. For general use of UI5 apps, we will be dealing with one page in a view. But there is a app type called a master details app. So with there, we'll need to use like two pages in a view. So if we have multiple pages, we can use uh, that multiple page. We can define that multiple pages within this pages tag. Actually, if we click on the pages just in the line number 5, you can say, yeah. So it is closing on line number 9. Line number 9. It is showing that. Okay. So within this portion, we can define our different pages. Okay. So we have one page right now, which is defined in line number 6, that the ID is page, and the title, we can put any title here. It's saying IIT name title, but we can just remove this thing with curly braces. Uh, like if we run this thing now, we can see anything, and just run this thing, and we can see the difference. Yeah.
This came as.
Yeah. So see the title. It is showing that the page, it is just we have written the title in the view. So we can change this title, like change this title from the very, remove this curly braces also.
Remove the curly braces here.
Yeah, curly braces, and remove the text, and give your own title.
Okay. See.
Okay.
Mhm.
So this way we will code this. Okay. So we'll go back to webIDE. Yeah. And we will write whatever we want to write within the content section, line number 7. We'll define anything here. So we leave it like it is here, and we will go back to the controller section. So views are like this, more or less, and then we'll create our own things in here. So let's go back to the
Can we
controller.
put something here just for the testing, like in the result
For
here?
now. Yeah, we can always. Yeah.
Just for the time being.
Let's put a button. Okay.
How to put it?
So enter in here. Yeah. And we'll use a button tag. Okay. No. If I say tag, it always will start with a less than bracket, less than sign,
Less than
like
sign. Okay.
yeah, like it is written in content. Okay, and then we'll put button or B caps. Hmm. It will give you the suggestions also. Okay, so yeah,
It is giving the suggestion, but
yeah,
okay. And then close it.
button. Yeah, and we'll define some properties for the button.
Uh-huh.
Like for now, it will not be having any properties. If you can, if you save it and reload that page, you will see that.
Okay. Button will be there.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, I see.
See,
Yeah.
a
Okay.
button is there. Okay.
Got
Yeah.
it.
So yeah. So if we want to write anything on this button, we will write within that first button. Yeah, first button tag. Okay. Within the first button tag. Just yeah, space. Give a space here and write text, all small, all small. Yeah. If you are writing any properties of a control, the control name will always start with a capital letter, and the properties will all have the small letters. Okay.
Okay.
So text is equal to write anything, button or anything, whatever. Text is equal to within quotes, double quotes. Yeah. Yeah. You can save it and reload it.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay. So that's a nice button we have. So this way we'll write our contents. Okay. And we can press Alt, Control, and B. You will be needing this shortcut key. Alt, Control, B. Press Alt, Control, B, and it will beautify your code.
Alt, Control B.
Hmm.
Okay.
See?
What do you do?
Yeah,
Formatting.
yeah. This is beautifying your code, actually. It is more like understandable when we have content, and on the second line within content, we have a nice format of this button, writing of
So
the code.
we
Okay.
what we say it formatting or what we say
Yeah, format of the code.
format of the code control B.
Yeah, it is called beautifying the code. If you right click here,
Uh-huh.
put a right click here, and it will always, yeah, beautify.
Beautify. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. In SAP it is named as pretty printer.
Pretty
So
printer.
pretty
Yeah,
printer. So what we do
in
there,
ABAP.
and we just set it up automatically. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Beautifying. Good name.
Yeah, it's a good name. So save it. Yes.
So,
If we change a line or give a space here, also we need to save anything. It will not do anything to the output, but it's just for your code.
okay. Okay.
Okay.
I see.
So we'll go back to the controller now.
This is the controller. Okay.
Mhm. Okay. So we can see what is defined here. So
Yeah.
from the very first line, we'll define our libraries also here, which we will use in controller. Okay. So for now, it is using that controller of the MVC format. So it is written as SAP UI code MVC formats controller on the second line. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And we have defined that we, you have you ever code in C language or anything?
No.
Okay. So we need to define, we need to tell to the code that which libraries we are going to use. So we are saying that we are using controller, and if we use anything else, like when we will use JSON models, we will define that JSON model kind of library here also. We'll add that thing. So we'll define whatever libraries we are going to use here in SAP UI.define. Okay. And then we are saying that we are writing our main function. Like if we have ever developed anything in Java, you can see there also that there is a main function. So this you can call as our main function. Okay. And we are using controller in the main function. And we use strict. Using this strict, we will show in our later classes why we need to use strict. Okay. And it will return. There is a return type of a function. So what we return, it's the extension of this whatever written in this controller. Okay, we return this whole thing. Like this is the on the line number 6, you can see that controller dot extend, which I mean this in the above lines we are just saying the program that's saying the app that we will be using controller. But which controller? The controller we will be using is written in the line number 6. So it will extend our namespace com.sap.custom UI5 app, which we had given, and then it will locate the controller here in our file name, main app folder name, and then in the controller folder we have a controller called UI5 v1. Okay,
Okay.
clear up to there? Yeah.
It maybe take some time, but at the high level, I understand these are the functions, pre-built up functions we can use. So apart from that, I
Yeah.
don't understand how it was controlled. So when we say function, so where is the definition of that function? Where is the code? So that I didn't
Yeah.
understand.
We are using a main function here. Okay, this is our main function. So this will include the whole code of our app. This function has the code of which include the whole thing, whatever we can write in our controller. So this is the main function. When we will write our own function, it will be using our own codes. We'll write there. Okay. For now, we just want to see how a controller designed. So we need to define the libraries we are going to use. We need to define a main function, and then we need to let the app know that what is the path of the controller. Okay. That is what we are describing in line number 6. Okay.
Okay.
And we can see on init, it's a built-in function. This is how we write custom functions also in UI5. We'll have to write the name of the function first, then a colon, and then we write function, open and close braces. If we need to pass any parameters arguments here, we'll pass this argument within the braces after function, and then in the curly braces we'll write our codes, whatever we want it to perform within that function. Okay, so on init is a built-in function. Okay, so
Function. Okay.
yeah, on init is a built-in function. So what does it do? So it's just saying as it being named that it will do whatever you write just when initiating the app. Just when the app is initialized, just when the app is called, the first work it will do whatever you write in this on init function. Okay. So there is a life cycle of Fiori UI5 app we'll be discussing, and I just wanted you to see that how it will work. So it is just a function on init, and there are 3 more functions in the life cycles we'll be discussing. Okay.
Okay.
So for now we can leave it here. If you have any doubt from here, you can ask it. So this is how a controller looks like. Okay. a default
So we
controller. If
discussed
we,
three
yeah.
things there in the MVC model. One was
Mm-hmm.
the model, second was the view, and third is the controller. So
Yeah.
here, when we go for this Fiori app, if we
Mm-hmm.
just relate it to that model, so where we can check what is the model for this app that we just created.
We have not used any data yet. Okay.
Okay.
So we just do not have any model yet. So whenever we'll write any data, we'll be dealing with any data, we'll create our
Mhm.
own model. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
for now we have the view and controller, but you can see that there is a model folder here. Yes, this is model.js.
yes,
This is a
models.
default one. No, it is not.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it is defined as JSON model. Okay. This is default models actually. What we have defined, predefined is that you can use a JSON model here, and there is a default device model where it is always used because we need to, if we ever need to define our app, I mean, to be destined on what device it will work. If we want to restrict that device, that yeah, it will work only on mobile phones. So we can restrict that later in our controller as well. So we'll in our controller, when we will use that device kind of thing, it will be referring to this SAP UI.device library. Okay. For now, we actually don't need this model.js. We will never need this model.js, because if we create our own local database like a JSON data, then JSON data file, we will include that JSON data file into this model folder. Okay. This is the need of this purpose of this model folder lying here.
Okay. So M
Okay.
is the model. So that is not yet been used. V is our view. So view is our like final output, and the final output is the one that we designed here. This one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So view.html, and that was a part of our. Do we have the view
View
folder
folder.
here also? Here.
Yeah, view folder. Web app under everything. We have everything under web app folder.
Okay.
So here
So
is the view folder.
okay, and the one that we okay. So it's explain about that, and C is the controller, and it has the controlling panel. Okay. So that makes sense, right?
Okay.
All the
Yeah.
threes are here. Okay. So
And yeah.
these applicable to custom apps only. How about the app? Say like if I pick up the app for the OVP,
OVP.
so these do not apply to those.
No, as we can see that these are called overview pages.
Mhm.
These are not called apps. Okay, but it will use in this, we can use this MVC format here in OVP also. Okay, but in the
Mhm.
most of the cases, the default setup for this app will be satisfying our need in whatever we will require in overview pages also. But we can write our own controller here. Like if we can see that here is a folder called ext. Okay, so
Mhm.
yeah. So we'll, if we ever need to write anything out of what we have been given, we can write it here under ext folder. But we generally don't need that one, because for OVP, for our data for our fingertips, we will be having enough annotations file. Actually, it is the best practice to create our own annotations file as per our need in our overview pages. Okay.
Okay.
So, okay. So obviously you can call those annotation as I mean the structure of the OData file, OData, what we need, and the cards. Actually, we use here the view, and what we use in our overview pages are cards. Okay, so this is why it is called OVP, overview pages, and it is yeah, and it is custom app. And well, the framework we use for MVC was for custom app, obviously.
So this this OVP do not use the MVC framework?
No, it has a model. I mean, for a whole scenario, you can say that yes, OVP also satisfies that MVC framework because it has a model. It has a data model defined in our manifest.json file, like we seen in our previous section also. Yeah. Okay, open that manifest.json. Yeah, click on the data source. No, you can see here also. There's in the script editors. There, the top menu, settings and data sources are these. And if we go to models, yeah, those are the models. Okay.
Okay, this
If
is
you
the
click,
okay.
yeah, if you click here in the your model, it looks like the third model is created by you. Yeah,
Okay.
so it is using the data source here on the right side. Okay, and this is the URI using this is the model type or data model. And then it is using that this data source, and the URI of this data source is this. Okay, so
So
it,
uh,
yeah.
if when we go there, we have to see
You can
what
just search for models, Control F, and type model. It will, yeah.
models. Okay, so this is the model. Okay,
Mhm.
so we are using a JSON model. Here is the
Mhm.
model is the different one. Okay,
Mhm.
okay. So yeah, at least
Okay.
we can relate little bit. Yes, you're right.
So and for view, it is using the cards. Okay, and if you ever want to write anything for the cards to perform a specific function, you can write your own controller also. But that is not recommended actually, because for overview pages we don't actually, if you see from the design perspective, will not ever let it be that much heavy to deal with functions or anything. We we actually want to see those data in overview pages, what we need in our fingertips, in a fast way, in a faster way, comparing to the SAP apps. If SAP app is, I mean, if a if an SAP UI5 app needs some 2 to 5 seconds to load, you will understand that thing. But whatever data you are needing in your uh, fingertips, that should not take that 5 to 10 seconds to load it. Okay, so we do not let that overview pages to deal with those, I mean, customized functions and all, because that will take some time to process those functions as well. Am I clear?
Yes. So it means there could be some performance issue if
Yeah,
we make some changes in the overview page standard function.
yeah. So it supports that MVC format, obviously, by models, and we can call the cards always as our views, and we can write our own functions in our custom controls as well. But that is not recommended actually, ever. Hmm. So we can always use that MVC format in overview pages, but that is not recommended, because overview pages gives you everything by default, whatever you will need. We will see that also.
Okay.
So for whatever we have discussed today, is there any question
Mm, will
you can
you
ask?
please explain me a little bit more about the webIDE? What is the overall function? Where to where it is connected? I know on the first PPT, on the first page, you explained webIDE is the Fiori server and that connects to our gateway server. So in this scenario, where it is applied, like what is the functionality it is doing here as of now?
Like the connections,
Yeah, like how it
how it
communicating,
connects.
what are the architecture behind this webIDE tool?
Okay, yeah, you will be obviously be discussing the connection in a separate class actually, because we need a time for that connection settings. It has some good properties lying within it. But for now, we have,
At the high level. Yes, we will just go at the high level. Yeah.
yeah, we need to create destinations in our, let's say, in our global account actually. So it is the first page you are, I mean, loading in webID section, or I mean, there should be another previous page, like from where we, yeah, from where did you, loaded this webIDE section? There is a bookmark or anything?
Yes, I put in a bookmark here. So when I go to my bookmark, so it shows like this. This is the page comes in.
Okay, okay, okay. So you
That's
are directly loading your webIDE.
yes.
Okay, so I'll show you. Okay, there is not near this.
Stop sharing. So let's stop.
Okay, well, let us go to tools.
Okay, tools.
If we can, let us see if we can see. Yeah, technology platform cockpit. Yeah, BTP cockpit. Okay. Here on the left hand side, you can see connectivity. Down. Yeah. So here are destinations like here. Okay. So those are the destinations we use to connect to our system. You can see here.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the URL. If we click on any destination, just click on any destination. Yeah. Like you see, there we have put a name for the destination, then its type of HTTP, and we have to put a description. Then this is the main thing, URL. Okay. We will connect our SAP systems via their URLs. Okay.
What is this URL?
This will search 404 not found always, because we need to put some services after there. So you can see in your webIDE that if this is kind of the host name, you can say okay, this is the host name, TXLNCSD. This is the host name,
So
and
that I
this
can check here, right? This is the you're referring to. It shows here TXLINC. So it is the
okay,
system
host name.
information.
This is the system. It is connecting to here.
Okay.
Okay, and we will connect this system via this port 8443. Okay, and obviously the connection will be using HTTPS. Okay, so there are two types of connection: on premise and internet. If we edit this thing, click on edit. Yeah, you can scroll here. Internet or on premise. Okay, so if our system is deployed to any cloud section, then we can use internet, but we should use on premise for our backend system always. If we are using an embedded concept, we'll always go for on premise connection as well. Okay, so if we are using any central hub connection, then we have a separate gateway to connect to the cloud. In that case, we can use internet proxy type, and we can fetch data. We can fetch our own data from that connection. But if we have some embedded system, then we will always go for on-premise connections. Always go for on-premise connection, because we can use internet connection, but that will, you then need to have two separate connections. One is for internet and one is for on-premise, because for internet connections in embedded system, you cannot deploy your app to the ABAP repository. You will need on-premise proxy type to deploy your app to the ABAP repository. Okay.
So you mean
So
this configuration is playing the role when we will be deploying our application?
hmm.
Wow. Okay.
and fetching our data as well.
Fetching our data. So it means this web ID is connecting with our
Hmm.
data through this connection.
We can go back to the. Yeah. I will. Yeah. So just remember the name of the auditor. Yeah, name of the destination. Corp is for dev 120. Okay, and then we'll go back to the web ID. Go back to the web ID.
S for dev 120. Okay.
Okay, so we have not used it. So it will be written in our new app.json. If you have created the demo OVP, right? So open it, open the demo OVP. Go to the new app.json. Below, yeah. Well,
Here it is.
yeah. Okay. So this is the type of
Destination.
type destination, and its name is this. Okay.
Oh, I
So
see. Okay.
yeah, this is how we are referring to the destination. And whenever we will go to manifest.json, go to manifest.json once. Yes, see, this is our this is that in the data source section, we can see in the URI that there is a path before the actual URL which is fetching for by which we are fetching our data. This is SAP OPU data, right? On the first section, SAP OPU data. Okay, and if we go back to the new app.json, you can see that on the first connection, SAP OPU.o data. What does that path mean? This means we will be using a destination called this. Okay, this is how we connect to our system.
Got it. So in this case, in this case, this destination we defined for this overall web ID. So it
Connection,
means
yeah,
our
yeah.
connection. So after that, once this connection is done, uh, this
We
web
can,
ID, they have provided the web ID tool to do the development online, right?
yes,
So
yes.
why can't we do the development of the Fiori using the HANA Studio?
HANA Studio is a different concept totally. HANA Studio is used to create views, right? HANA views.
But SAP has this tool bring up to everything into the one tool, right? So that's the why all the BW development is coming to HANA Studio. All
Yeah.
above development is coming to HANA Studio. So the same expectation was that all this Fiori development will also come to the HANA Studio. So that is the centralized hub for all development. But here it is a
But
web ID. So what is the
yeah,
web ID?
because
Why?
for Fiori apps, they are not only available for HANA, right? They are also available for ECC as well. Okay, so you can't let it put in HANA Studio only.
Okay, so HANA Studio will only work with the HANA database.
Yeah, yeah. HANA Studio will only work on the HANA database. We can create some views on top of HANA database in HANA Studio. Those are different things like analytical views, calculation views are there.
But
Attribute
in
views are there.
Eclipse,
Yeah.
the HANA Studio and Eclipse are both the same tool, right? And if you see, I'm using the Eclipse instead of the HANA
Yeah,
Studio, right?
Eclipse actually collects it all. Yes.
So it means Eclipse is capable of doing these development that we are doing in the web ID.
Uh, yes, obviously Eclipse can do that design. We are doing this in webIDE, but we'll always recommend webIDE because it is latest. We used to use this Eclipse ID previously, but webIDE is more dedicated to those Fiori developments and UI5 app developments. So you have when you have a dedicated tool for your development, we'll always go for that.
Okay, okay. So you're saying Eclipse has the capability to do those web
Obviously,
development because
obviously,
it
Eclipse
interacting with
has.
the Java,
Yeah, you need to
SAP
install.
systems,
Yeah, you need
different
to
perspective.
install those things. Yeah, you need to install the perspective for webIDE as well, for UI5 developments as well. Is
UI5
also
development.
SAP UI5. Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
got it.
So there
And
is a
why
obviously there is a way to develop UI5 apps in Eclipse also.
in the Eclipse also? Okay. And I was like somewhere where you see it's SAP Business Technology Platform Cockpit. So what it is this? What does it mean basically?
Uh, it's a central kind of platform where all is there. If you open BTP, Just open BTP cockpit.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can see. Yeah, we can see the overview here. And if we have, I mean, there are menus on the left hand side which are self elaborative as well.
Mhm.
If you see applications right after here, okay, so we can use, we can deploy these type of applications here wherever we have developed it. That doesn't matter. Okay, so we can use Java applications, HTML5 applications, HANA Access applications as well. So we can develop those applications in webIDE or say in any other tool, and we can deploy that thing in our SAP Cloud Platform. And those are deployed in our SAP Cloud Platform. The apps, those will be available here. Okay, and then if we click on services, we'll see that we have different services available for our in the search window. You can type the web. See, there is web ID full stack. So this will lead to the web ID you have bookmarked in your browser. This all thing
So
lies in
webIDE
here.
is the one part of it, of the BTP cockpit.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
Oh,
BTP is a central place where all things lie actually. Your applications, your deployed applications, your tools for to develop anything, your connectivities, everything is there in the BTP cockpit.